Welcome to the Farmer Show, where we talk about everyday life and give advice. Any advice we give is based on opinions, not facts. I'm your host, Lovey.
And I'm your host, Z. Our Instagram is thefarmers_show.
That's TheFarmers_SHOW.
Make sure y'all follow us there and show us some love. And today's topic is our customer service experience.
But before we get into it, we hope from wherever you're listening from, you having a fantabulous day.
Facts. So let's get into it, baby.
First, we do have a special question from one of our listeners, John Davis, 2215, which says, what do y'all believe will happen with all these new state/government rules in the near future? And this is what we think. So we think that this world is already pretty jacked up, and a lot of those state laws and government laws that are happening now is really just going to make a lot of things harder, a little bit worse for us people in America. More than it already is. And honestly, I feel like they put these rules in place just to make it harder for people. And so that AI can take over basically, and, it will all be ran by robots. That's where it seems like it's headed now, because some of the laws are just outright insane. What do you think, baby?
Yeah, I feel the same. I mean, with all this AI going on, it's no longer, need for humans anymore. Like, I don't know. AI and other computer technology will basically take human places as far as jobs go.
That's how I honestly feel about it. That's why it's just, we're being so controlled by a lot of things. And it's going to be some iRobot all up and through here.
Yeah, I think they just basically trying to replace humans with AI and robots and all of that. So
yeah, because clearly some of our basic human rights are being trampled over.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, without touching on specific laws, that's for the generalization of them. That's how we feel.
Yep.
But thank you so much for that, job. We always appreciate you.
Facts. So let's get into it. Our customer service experience. So this is a very big topic in general. So we had to kind of break it up in like two parts. So this episode, we're going to talk about our customer service experience and basically what we think about it.
Yes, in regards to the jobs that we work.
Facts. So I guess I go first.
Go for it. Yes.
So my customer service experience in person wasn't as bad. I mean, it had its moments, don't get me wrong, but I like in person more than I like work from home, mainly because I have ADHD and it's hard for me to sit still. But so my first jobs with it is were Route 21 and Buffalo Wild Wings. I like beat-ups more. That's the kind of slang version for Buffalo Wild Wings. But I like beat-ups more because it was more fast-paced, and I stayed busy there versus Route 21, where in Rocky Mount, the mall is dead. It's very slow. You can count on your hands how many people come in and out that mall. For real. So I'm going to start with my, good customer service experience first. So I actually met some very nice people. You'll get a lot of compliments from different people. You get to meet some very funny people. And, some people, they like to hold small talks with you.
Yes.
It's a good thing and it's a bad thing. Not saying that it's a bad thing, but if you're not busy and, people talking with you and stuff is cool. But if you're real busy and, you got them long-winded customers, it can cause a problem.
I mean, they be chatterboxes. Love y'all to pieces, honey, but we got to get to work.
For real. I have got some very good advice from different people, I met through customer service. My bad customer service experience is, of course, the rude and mean customers. I mean, mostly it's older people.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with older people, but me personally, all my not all of them, but majority of them came from older people.
They putting something in that prune juice that just make them go crazy.
For real. At the end of the day, it's just a respect thing. Treat people how you would want others to treat you, basically. For example, I had this one guy when I was working for Food Line. He threw the money down on the counter instead of putting it in my hand. And I had my hand out right there. And so Me being me, the Virgo,
Ah.
the Virgo I am, I kind of returned the favor, and it just so happened he had changed. So I wasn't rude about it. I put the change on top of the receipt, and he chose the option to basically take the receipt and ball it up. So then then he had to pick up the change off the conveyor belt, and the conveyor belt started rolling. So I had to press the button to turn it off. And he gonna look at me funny like I'm like, you started it, like
Right.
none of this had to happen if you just put the money in my hand like I had my hand out. You know, a lot of customers basically would throw money on the counter right there when you have your hand sitting right there. I don't know what's up with it. Yeah, I'm just like, what's the harm in just putting it in my hand?
Right.
You know?
I went through that a lot with working at Sheets. That was my first, I would say that was my first real customer service job or retail job, or however you want to put it. And I experienced that too. People just dropping their money on the counter.
Yeah, and just throw it at you and
Yeah.
stuff. I'm just like, rude.
I actually got quite a few stalkers.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. This one man, he was nice at first, but then a flip just switched in his little head. He just like came up to me one day and grabbed me.
Oh no.
Yes.
That's assault.
Yeah, he grabbed me. You know, I really should have sued.
For real.
Right, but he grabbed me and looked me up and down and said, I don't like you no more. First of all, this man was like old as dust.
I told you, it's the older man. It's the older people, man. I don't know what's up with them.
I didn't know what to make of it. I was like, Lord, please don't let him kiss me with his Steve Harvey mustache he got.
Oh my
please.
God.
He left after that. I was like, oh, thank God. They'd really be tripping though.
Did anybody else say anything?
No.
They were just sitting there like, what in the world is going on?
Yeah, nobody did anything. Sheeks is a very crazy place.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I also had like a lady fuss at me when I was working at Buffalo Wild Wings and basically put her hand in my face because she got upset because she was on the wait list too long. I was like, bro, it's not that deep. It was, bro.
What they got to do with you?
It was literally nothing I could do. It was game night, so you know it was packed.
Right,
I'm
exactly.
just like, lady, I mean, she just went full blown, you be what, I forgot what she said, but basically getting upset with me because she couldn't sit down fast enough. And then you know how like sometimes like, you know, them two top tables.
Yeah.
I think she had like a party of 4. And it was like a table, but it only had 2 chairs. So of course I'm gonna, you know, get the next people that have 2 people in their party. So I sat them, and I guess she got upset, you know, because she was like, "Oh, they came in after me, blah blah blah." I'm just like, lady, look, it's nothing I can do.
Like rude customers as it is, but like when you in person, because the phone thugs are terrible, but when you're in person. That lady would have put that hand in my face. I said, you know what? How about you seat yourself? Okay, take the menu, take this, take your timer. I'm about to take off. And I know they're not going to fire me because they need me.
I know. She tried to lie to my manager. I forgot what she said. I said. And everybody was looking at her like, no, she didn't.
Right.
I was just like, lady, get on somewhere.
Like, girl, bye. Go get your wisdom tooth pulled out. You must have a toothache. Crazy.
Another bad experience I had was at a work from home job. Like the whole experience itself was just terrible. Like, I mean, it wasn't terrible. Don't get me wrong.
Say what it is. It's so crushing. It's so crushing work to work from home. So just say that.
So let me tell you, I was working for this electric company basically where I help customers with their bills and, you know, put in certain requests regarding their energy bill and different stuff like that. And like, I would get people who would fuss at me for their bill being too high or if something wasn't right on it. And, you know, it sucked because I really couldn't do anything about it.
Right.
But put in a request for like a higher up manager to get back in contact with them. And like trying to explain that to people that you don't have the authority to do anything is the worst because they don't understand. And then they get mad at you. Yeah. And once again, it was mainly the older people again, you know, fussed at me the most. And then you'll get some people that will like cry on the phone when their like lights are about to be turned off and stuff. And I felt so bad because I really couldn't do anything about it.
Right.
But like maybe put them on like a payment plan, but still even then, you know, if they don't have the money to put down on the payment plan, it's like it's pointless. There's nothing I can really do, you know.
Right. It's
So
sad.
yeah, and then I worked for this company during COVID, so it was like 10 times worse. And then like the management sucked. They never did anything, and when you had a question or something, they take hours to respond. Like, it was just very unorganized, and they say we're here to help, but
Bye.
they expect so much out of you, and sometimes it's unbearable.
It is. Honestly, sometimes those managers are just as good as a sticker.
For
like,
real.
it looks like it has a purpose, but what does it really do?
Nothing really.
Nothing.
Yeah. For real, like, I just had a hard time there. Like, they require you to meet like certain metrics, and you can only be on the phone with the customer, I think, for like maybe, I think it was like about 8 minutes or so. Like, it's hard to do that when you don't get any of your questions answered, for one.
Yes.
And then your customer don't understand something, so you have to spend time explaining that. And then your customer, like, they'll fuss at you, or, you get those customers that's impatient and all of that. Like, it was just a lot, and
it's mentally draining, especially when they know, but they know that you don't have the power to do it. But for some reason, they feel like you have this magic wand to do everything. And I don't understand why companies don't get those customers in front of or to the people that actually can do something about what they're wanting versus sending a request, because at that point, you really have to think, do they really care about their customers? Do they really care about stuff being handled quickly, or do they inefficiently, or do they really just care about getting the customer off the phone?
Yeah, and then, like, they'll be like, if it's something you don't know, of course, transfer them and stuff. But then it's like, they be like, try to solve it first. I'm like,
solve what?
Like, if I don't know, if I can't do anything about it, I'm going to have to transfer. And then they get mad because you transfer them too much. It just be, I be like, yo.
I be so over it because the CEOs don't do their own work.
Exactly.
They have no idea.
It be us really doing all the work.
Literally.
And then, like, I also, too, have, like, stomach problems. So, when I have to go to the bathroom, I have to go. And you can't be in break mode for, a certain amount of time, or, in general, just a lot. You'll basically get written up and fired for it if you do. So, it's like, even with a doctor's note, they still require you to meet those metrics. Like, it's just impossible, And me sitting there on the phone all day at a desk with ADHD and other stuff going on, nah, it was a lot for me, so I had to let it go.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's probably why they're trying to get robots now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I said, back to, John Davis' question and stuff, like, if you think about it, if they get AI, of course, we have the phone automated system and stuff like that now.
Right.
Can you imagine if the phone automated system, I mean, it is more advanced than it, used to be.
Yeah.
So it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if it started taking over, like, those certain calls and stuff like that. And then
fuss at an AI if you want to, honey. Go ahead. It's
like,
not going to care.
I cannot understand. Please call back at a different time.
Let it, that time that it get upset or turn red, you know how it be. It's like, okay, don't you live at so-and-so drive? Okay. On my way to send a missile. Please hold. Boo.
Oh my God. That's crazy. But what about you? What about your customer service experience?
So, I already talked a bit about Sheetz and stuff, where that was basically a gas station where, I worked as a salesperson, but really I was a cashier. I was a barista. I was a Subway sub maker. I was everything. I was back there frying chicken. I did everything.
God.
I faced the store. I cleaned the store. Really, I did some of everything. And that is the longest job I feel like I've had ever, because it was basically 2 years on and off. After that, it's been 6 months at maybe max for me with these customer service jobs. So the ones I had that were more call center was Alorica. That was my first job, and I worked at a specialty pharmacy. So I would basically help fill customers, medication and stuff like that. And of course, I had to meet certain metrics and stuff like that. And there's a lot of drama at Alorica. And with some of the call centers, there's something that you don't really experience as much with remote work. But when you're at a call center, there is a lot of drama. You're
like
basically,
in person.
Yeah, in person. You're basically one big dysfunctional family, you know, some like a family that you never asked to be in.
Right.
And it's like you just kind of got to hold your own. You have supervisors that are prone to have their favorites.
Mm.
I remember one time I got promoted to tier 2, and literally because they felt like they didn't need that many of us, they downsized. And doesn't mean that I got fired, just means I had to go back to my, position that I was in. And literally they just kept their favorites. Because my manager kept his favorite because the dudes that were there played basketball and they played basketball together. Like, basketball ain't gonna take the phone call.
For real.
Literally. Like, what in the world? And, I will say that out of all the customer service jobs I had, dealing in the medical field is a little bit easier than dealing with other services like cable and stuff.
Yeah, I can see that. Because people, like, I be like, bro, chill out. It's just cable, man. Like, calm down.
They be acting like they about to die without, like, you need stars that bad. I ain't gonna lie. Real. It's a big rich town. Like, I low-key need that. Ain't gonna count. But I wouldn't, go off on nobody because of that. But I do remember a time where a father had called in because his daughter had just had transplant surgery and she was getting ready to wake up from it. And she needed her medicine right away. And I'm like, that is actually something. He skipped a lot of steps. Maybe it was just a lot going on. He didn't think about it, but he was supposed to go ahead and, get that prescription with the doctor, send it in. And I think he needed like a prior authorization. It was so much stuff holding up. And I think about that call often because there was really nothing I could do.
Yeah.
There was nothing I could do.
It be them moments where it's like, yo, I really cannot do anything, and it's like, they don't understand that. They're like, look, I called this number. You supposed to help me. I understand that, but it's certain steps you have to do as well.
Exactly.
You can't just sit here and, expect us to solve all of your problems. Like, we solved some of it, and we can transfer you to other people and stuff, but don't fuss at us.
We ain't the Avengers.
We ain't do nothing.
We are not Captain America, bruh.
We don't even know you.
Exactly. And don't get me wrong, I felt bad because with transplants, it's very sensitive. If you don't have the medicine that you need, because you're going to be on this for your life, for all of your life. You don't just stop. This is forever.
Oh, dang. I didn't know that.
It's forever. And it's like your organ can start to, it's not your organ, it's somebody else's. Your body can reject it because it's like foreign.
Oh, yeah. True.
So this medicine helps your body to like accept it and all this other stuff. And I'm like, as a parent, I know you had a lot going on, but your daughter needed this.
Right.
She could die without this. And that's the type of decisions I had to, decisions I couldn't make because I really couldn't do anything.
You would think that field in particular is more stressful.
You
than,
would
like,
think so.
The regular like cable and different stuff like that.
But it wasn't, because the patients or the customers, I would say, would be a little bit more patient because they really need that, and they need that help, and they know you can't go around cussing people out, and all they could do is, let's say they bull crap and you don't get your medicine. Versus your cable service, you just can't watch TV. Or if they're
dealing with people's money, you would think too that, well, no,
dealing with their money is worse. Because I definitely been there. So, like, this job too, I was, because I was really new to customer service.
Mm. Oh, that was your first,
That was my first real, customer service job. I was working at Alorica. Yeah.
Oh, that was the medical one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
mm-hmm.
Okay.
It really was. I did enjoy that. I'm not going to lie. But, of course, it has its moments. I committed to sin that you're not supposed to in customer service ever.
What?
I told a customer my first and last name. Oh, and not just to any customer, an angry customer.
What?
An angry customer on
so they finally called back and was like, this person.
I mean, he was on something. He wanted to bomb the place.
Oh, dang. What, yo?
And I slipped up and told him my first and that last name so casually. I started crying after the call.
Oh, my God.
Because I thought
Did you get in trouble?
No, not really. I just thought I was going to get fired.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was nervous, because it was new to me. Like, what in the world? I work for I'm not going to say the name of the company, But I did work for this company as a third-party rep for a major cable company. So you can really do your own math with that. I'm pretty sure you probably know who it is. So it was terrible.
Yeah, I remember that. She was stressed.
It was absolutely the worst. And why did I ever decide to go full-fledged with the company itself outside of being a third-party contractor? I don't know. But that was my first encounter with this company, and it was about cable services. I had to help troubleshoot their internet and phone. Well, no, their internet and...
Cable?
Yeah, their internet and cable. That's what it was. And when I say these are the nastiest customers on the planet...
Yeah, I
think nastiest.
I think like cable company is the worst.
Run away.
Well, I wouldn't say the worst. Maybe it's hard to say.
They're one of the worst.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say. I'm pretty sure there's other stuff going on, but they are definitely like up there, the top 3 worst. They're up there because for some reason, like I guess what happens is that our generations have become so digitalized, and we need or feel like we need this virtual stimulation, you know, that some people cannot live without cable.
Yeah.
Some people act like they cannot live without cable.
What's even crazier is because like cable, like, I mean, I see, like I said, older people, you know, with the cable boxes and stuff like that, but really, this generation, they really stream stuff a lot. So it's like, you know, it be the older people, like not trying to like not trying to talk about older people or nothing, but it do be those old men and women that like don't understand, and then they get real snappy. I'm just like, chill out.
Real snappy, like a snapping turtle. And then what also made it worse was around that time, some people were kind of working from home. Yeah. So no internet means no money, no job. So I got my butt handed to me, you know? Yeah. So yeah, it was absolutely terrible. I started stressing so bad that I started having really heavy bleeding during my periods. I pure bled onto one of the work chairs I was working from. It got really, really, really stressful for me.
You have a panic attack.
It was a lot for me. And then one thing I did like, my coworkers were cool. One of my good friends, we used to work together at Sheetz. We ended up working together at this job too. And then I had this trainer who introduced me to the term folder free. He would say that all the time. Yep, you get this folder free. I was like, I could ride with that. I like stuff folder free, you know. But one time, and this is just let you know how stressful this job is. One of my coworkers, they were still in training, and they went and smoked on their break, came back high. So imagine being high, taking those type of stressful phone calls.
For real.
Homegirl was
I know she was messing up everything.
She was absolutely terrible. And she looked at me and said, girl, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm like, why did you do this to yourself?
For real.
Why did you do this?
At that type of job, like, you know, I can see maybe a warehouse job, but a call center job?
A call center? No, honey. I would never be so brave. I will say the name of this next company. So I work for Conduent. I was enrolling customers into insurance, Medicare Part like D and stuff like that. And I worked with my sister there. So she took the bilingual phone calls. I took the regular phone calls, but we still worked next to each other. And we worked on one side. The other side of this place, when I came in during training, it smelled like Badissi. It smelled like Badissi, and it smelled like Badissi, like feet and like puppy breath.
What?
It was something real stinchy about it.
Dang.
And so when I asked, it was a little spicy. So when I asked my trainer, why is it spicy? I asked my trainer, said, okay, why is it a little funky over here? Like, we don't work over here, but like, what's going on? What's the backstory? I'm seeing stains on the carpet and stuff.
What?
It used to be a sex call center on that side.
Wait, hold on.
I'm so serious.
So they was like the customer service people, right? Well,
Yeah,
not the customer service people, but the people they call, right?
Hi, this is the call. This is the quiet storm. You reached Laquita.
But like, my thing is,
Why
don't
was
they-
it funky?
yeah, like why was stuff on the floor and stuff? They supposed to be talking to the other people
that's
and
what-
getting them off. Like,
I
why
know. I don't know. I don't know if they was down there flicking the bean, diddling or whatever. I don't know if they had water parked all over the floor. Whatever it was,
Yo.
them heifers was funky. That's all I know. It was the funk from Christmas past. Okay,
Dang.
it was definitely stank. So we just try not to go on that side. It was definitely stank, and we had to read from a script. So it was one of those scripted jobs.
Oh yeah.
Where you have to read stuff verbatim. And now, although the customers there, they weren't as bad as the ones from the, like, working with the cable company, but they had a lot less patience because of so many things we had to read and get through.
See, like the scripted stuff, it's like it has its good side and it have its bad side. Like at least you reading from a script and don't have to like really think about what you have to say.
Right.
But also too, like you said, some of them impatient customers, they be like, "Look, can we hear you?" You know, like
Right. But then also too, I had to order medication. I had to place orders for their medication. So I was doing so much, and you never knew which call you were gonna get. So it was insane. I did enjoy like the food trucks that was out there. They had plenty of food trucks. Me and my sister was down for that, honey. Okay, I didn't mind that, but the work environment was still a little toxic. It was a long drive. It could just be a bit much and take a toll on you. And now get into that cable company. I worked for them again, but this time as a full-fledged employee.
Oh yeah.
And that was mentally draining, mentally stressful. I would get cussed out on a daily for them not having a signal. And it really be their fault half the time. Sometimes they'll be like, oh, you know what? The TV's not plugged in. Do you know how many times I wanted to jump through that phone?
Oh my God.
And just put them in a full Willie Nelson?
I would have been mad, yo. Like what?
Yeah. Do you think
I
we
would've
ever
hung
got
up.
apologies? No.
Nope.
No. We can't hang up on the customer. De-escalate. At some point, I'm about to percolate because I'm about to go crazy. Like, this is crazy. It is insane.
Like, what disappoints you the most about like customer service?
Just how absolutely inhumane the customers can be. Like, how they can come at you completely sideways for your care and don't even know who you are.
Right.
Call you every name in the book.
Yes.
And I'm like, how?
I had a man actually call me the N-word. I was like,
What?
Yeah. When I was working for the electric company, yeah, they called me the N-word. I think he got upset or something because you know how like they'll have them automatic calls that keep calling you and stuff. And he was like, "Take my number off this thing. I'm tired of them calling me da 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 da." And I was like, "Okay, I put it in. They won't call you anymore and stuff like that." I was being like nice to him.
Yeah.
And he was just going off. I'm like, "Bro, I already fixed your problem. Why are you still fussing at me?"
Because
And
he
then
wants
like,
somebody to
"Y'all
fuss
ends."
at.
I was like, "Did he just call me the N-word?"
I'm like, sir,
Yo.
I'm highly offended. As an Asian woman, you will not sit there and talk to me like that.
Yo, for real. Like, I was just like, yo, what is up with this dude? Like, and of course, older.
Yeah,
It be the older ones, man. I'm trying to tell you, like,
It's the level of disrespect, and they demand so much respect.
but they disrespect you. Like, no, you gotta treat people how you want them to treat you.
I swear, I'm not taking it no more. I'm going to hide dentures. Okay, I'm throwing the pens out the window. You want me to be petty? Like what?
What do you think like is a good solution to like make customer service better? Like,
They
is
need
it a way?
They need to advertise it more. They need to advertise what good customer and agent interactions look like. And let it be. You know how they play everything else during the times that you're on hold and waiting, and it'd be like, yeah, check out these deals, check out that. How about...
You can view your bill online.
You
Just go to www.
Yeah. It's good to be kind to our agents. We do monitor these calls. And if we do see any infractions on our rules as far as respecting our agents, you will no longer be a customer. Like little stuff like that would be very nice.
That would be helpful. Because then I don't know, some people, like, you'll get them people that just put the phone down and just wait till somebody say hello.
And guess what? They start acting rude, put them on hold again. It'll play. It'll play. Or put advertisement on, or allow people to maybe, I don't know, get a credit for good customer interactions. Like, you know what? You're always so good to our agents. They actually have their own surveys for our customers, and they rated your interaction as good. You get a $5 coupon off on this.
I think they should have, like... You should be able to say, hey, this customer was rude. This customer was... Like, they should, like, reevaluate all of...
Yeah. And they could get perks for actually being nice. So then some people, they'll think twice about, you know what? I was going to go off on her. I really know. Because I hate those customers that be like, I know it's not your fault. But anyway, I'm about to go off. Like, calm down.
For real, like, what? That don't even make sense. Why are you fussing at me then?
Like, what can I really do?
For real.
I do have a question for you.
What's up?
Which customer service job would you go back to if you had to, and why?
It would be in person for sure.
Right.
I would go back to maybe... It's like... So my first two jobs, like Route 21, it was dead. So the time goes by very slow when you're just sitting there. But at the same time, you don't have to worry about a lot of people and interaction with people and stuff. But me being me and knowing how I like fast pace and stuff like that, like probably maybe Buffalo Wild Wings.
I could see that.
Like, I mean, I also worked at like Food Line too. But
the way people act over their groceries.
The groceries, they be real picky about certain stuff. And maybe Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah.
I could see that. Y'all were a family, really.
Yeah, we was. Like, it was fun. It was fun. And I still, like, my friend that used to work there, we used to go to high school together. We still friends to this day.
That's beautiful. I want to know, why do you think customers feel they can disrespect customer service workers?
So, like, you saying, like, on the phone or in person?
Well, either way. Why do they feel entitled to that?
It's like, it's hard to say. People be sometimes just taking their anger out on you. Mm-hmm. Like, they be upset about one thing, and half of the time, sometimes they don't understand you, or, it's different reasons for that. Like, some people are just mentally not right.
Yeah.
They're just not right. So it's like they just find any and every reason to snap on people. They don't make it right, though.
I agree. And you know what? I'm just like, y'all probably think that these customer service workers won't nuck if you buck honey. But this new generation is not playing with you. Like, our generation played a tiny bit. Don't get me wrong. We did. We allowed certain things, but at the age we're at now... I'm not about to play with you, honey.
For real.
Go play with your kids.
Go get that chair.
Go play with your kids, or go play with your ancestors, because you about to meet them messing with me.
For real. Y'all, if y'all have seen that fight with, what was it, Alabama?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, like, that was a prime example of we're not taking anybody's crap anymore.
Nothing. Yeah. Gonna bring out that chair,
honey,
and
throw the hat up, honey. Throw the hat up. We're not playing these games.
Like, what do you think customer service would be like in the next 5 years?
Robots.
Yeah,
taking them calls, because one thing I've noticed, especially from working from home jobs, they are almost training you to be a robot, but you just can't, because you're human.
Right.
You are human. They're teaching you to not react. They're teaching you to...
Yeah, it's like you have to take what the customers say to you. You can't react. You can't, be upset about it or anything. You have to just take it. Like, it's not fair.
Yeah. And then besides the terrible customer interactions, it's always crunch time. It's always crunch time, because
like, dang,
hurry
give me
up,
a break.
Get these people off the phone in 5 minutes. It takes me like two to say hi sometimes because of how much they talk. What do you mean? In the other 3 minutes, I'm supposed to be able to do X, Y, and Z? Are you crazy?
Especially when they have like a difficult like situation. You have to call other people to get, like it's a lot.
Yeah, because I work for this. I had worked for a bank, and it was work from home, and it was by far, aside from the cable company, the most stressful job I ever had. Dealing with somebody's money and dealing with it remotely, in an era where there are scams 24/7, people's money getting taken left and right, and your company is holding it. They want to know what the heck is going on. Also, too, just even with like little silly stuff, with you not being able to allow them to have full access to their funds, because when you put your money in a bank, you have limits on your debit card or how much you can withdraw, how much you can take out.
Which is crazy. Like, this
that
is
kind of crazy.
Like, what?
Exactly. Keep your money in your pocket sometimes. But yeah, it is actually kind of insane because some of these banks, half the time they don't have your money. I'm going to be honest, because they invested.
Yeah.
So now you're dealing with that. Plus there's a third party person that, like Visa or whatever, that is monitoring and transactions and flags some stuff that you do on a regular as fraud. Yeah. And now you don't have access to your card. Now it's declining while you out popping bottles and drinks and stuff and saying, hey, y'all, drinks on me. And they run that card. And they're like, decline. I'm sorry, whose card? Your card declined. Yeah, I think you're going to have to pour the drinks back in the pitcher. Like, that type of stuff. So, yeah, I had a customer call me because something similar to that happened to him in front of his family. He went clean off on me. I couldn't get a word in edgewise. I'm telling him the solution, what I'm going to do for him. And he is cussing me slam out. Why do y'all keep declining my card? First of all, it's not me, sir. Right. I just met you. Boo.
We can't even access your card. Like,
can't even access your card. I mean, what was you getting? You only got $13 in it. Let me stop. What was you getting? Napkins? Anyway, he just going off on me, and I'm still being my nice self, but deep inside, like, I feel like I was dying.
Yeah.
I put him on hold for a long time, not on purpose, because that's how long it took me to actually get to somebody, because the supervisors that take the escalated calls, they don't be
wanting to take the calls.
They don't.
And then you be, like I said, too, having them on hold, and then you gotta keep checking back every 2 minutes.
Yeah,
it's too much. It's too much
because they don't want to take the calls either. So when especially the newer ones I talk to, I hear the fear in their voice. They're just like, so they try to stall as long as they can. Ask you about stuff that don't matter. Like, okay, is his name spelled correctly on the account? Girl, I don't have time to ask him that. He is cussing me out. He calling me out of my name. You think I need to worry about if his name is spelled right?
Like, what?
It is insane.
Make it make sense.
Right. And I finally bring this man in. And then he's like, you know what? I'm so sorry. I hope I didn't ruin your weekend and stuff. Like, an apology is nice, but I don't care anymore.
I would have said, yes, you did. Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Make him feel bad, just like he made you.
Right. I was just like, oh, okay. All right. And I clocked out. I clocked out that night. I could not deal. You remember that night?
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, that really messed me up because I'm like, you did all of this to me for what?
Exactly.
It's not me. I'm not the one declining your car. You cussing me out is not going to make your situation better.
Right.
I really wish I could have told him, don't bank with this company. To be real with you, some of my customers, the issues that they have is because of the company that they're with. Unfortunately, I was working with them.
Yeah. It'd be the company too.
Yeah, you got to be really careful, especially with like online banking and stuff like that, because your stuff gets hacked on a daily and you really, truly don't know who's doing it,
Right.
Because some of these people are working from home just like me. Luckily, I'm a very trustworthy person. And
then too, like, a lot of customers, if they know or hear that you're working from home, they got a problem with that for some reason. You're working at home, I'm like, dude, like, we're all working from home. Like, this is 2023. Like, this ain't.
They'll be working from home too, and be like, I'm on my lunch in my living room, and you're working from home, working with my bank account.
I'm like,
girl,
Yeah. Like, this is
Don't you work for a credit card company? Because I see your employer right here. What are you talking about? Like, it'd be the silliest stuff. But at the same time, like, I would want to be like, okay, I could see why y'all would feel uncomfortable with somebody working from home because you feel like they're not being monitored. But the same stuff can happen at a center.
No, like, even, I mean, you can't even really say you're not being monitored because they listen to the calls, and some people watch your screen. Mm-hmm. So it's like,
they listen to the calls, they watch your screen, and if some stuff goes down, as far as with their account in the same city that you're in or certain areas, they're gonna know it's you because they're gonna look at, well, who's the last person that messed with this?
Exactly.
You know, so it's like even when it wasn't any better at the center. Heck, when you give your card to somebody at McDonald's, they could write that thing down real fast, take a picture.
Right.
Plenty of customers I talk to that happened to them.
Yeah. People just don't be thinking before they react.
No.
Like, think before you run your mouth. Like, it will go a long way.
Because you embarrass yourself and you think that, oh, this is the end of it. I'm going to cuss this person out. I'm going to ruin their day. I'm going to act a fool. And then that's it. No, guess what? They take your calls because it's recorded and they told you. And they play your calls to new employees.
Yeah.
Okay, they get to hear you sounding stupid, acting crazy, boo-hoo crying over stuff that don't matter, calling people out of their names, acting ugly forever.
So would you agree that in-person customer service is kind of better than work from home customer service?
I would want to say yes. It really truly depends on the company that you work for, the level of work that you're doing, but it's something about working remotely that is the most gut-wrenching, soul-sucking thing I've ever done in my life. Yeah. I don't recommend it to anybody. Mentally it takes a toll. I got to the point where I had to start practically medicating myself to try to go into work every day. Yeah. Using what was a drug-free supplement, but still I never had to do that at the other jobs that I dealt with. Right. And you get really defeated because it's the same type of metrics that you have with in-person and stuff, but you're stuck here and then you get to see like your family, but you can't really interact with them like you want to.
Yeah, you have to be in the closed off room. Yeah. No distractions, no noise and stuff. Right. And it's like, you forget how to be a person at that point.
You really do. I'm not going to lie. Like, luckily, I am a bit of a social butterfly. I am an Aquarius. But I know there's a difference in the way I interact with people than, like, how I probably used to. Yeah. Because it's like I have to get to know people all over again.
And I feel like, too, like, a lot of people, they get booked over the phone. But if you face-to-face with that person, they're not going to do all that. You know, like, you might get some people that will. Yeah. But a lot of them,
I'm this happy-go-lucky person, but it's something about me. People ain't never tried to try me, honey. Because I really wish you would. I really wish you would, honey. Let me work at a gas station where they sell slushes. Girl, you gonna be blue, purple, red. What mix do you want?
Like, you'll have them people that try, like that lady put that, hand in my face and stuff like that.
She knew not to go too far.
Yeah, she knew not to step over that line. Like.
Yeah, honey. Stay over there, because the minute you cross this counter, it's self-defense, boo.
For real. So, yeah, I feel like a lot of customers, they get booked over the phone more versus in person. That's why I prefer in-person customer service more than, over
What's crazy is you have their address.
For real.
You got more information than ever. Girl, I got your social. I got your address. I got your phone number. Girl, I got your husband's phone number. What in the world?
Thinking about that. Like,
they don't. Do they not think some of these people, you don't know what's going on? Just like you be thinking, well, you don't know what's going on their end. They may be going through hard times. You don't know what's going on through your customer service rep's head. They take these calls on a daily. People cussing them out, fussing them out, and it's building up.
All they have to do is make one call. Hey, look.
Hey, scoot through here. This address right here. Beat her A. You know what I'm saying? And then you be wondering why certain stuff happen and you don't know what people's motives are.
Yeah, you can't sit here and be rude to anybody. You don't know, like, what that person got going mentally in their head. So you can't just sit here and blab your mouth to everybody, any and everybody know.
Those of y'all who do that, go off on customer service reps, go off on
Think about if it was your daughter or your family member or your mom or somebody getting cussed out. Like, how will you feel about that? So next time you want to fuss at another customer service rep or something like that, think about that. What if it was your daughter or your mom or your son? Somebody like that. Like, really think about stuff before you actually do it.
Right. And those customer service reps who you tear apart, and they're still being absolutely kind and nice to you, and you're calling them names and taking advantage of that, count your blessings. Because they really could have sent a bomb to your house.
For real.
They really could have. They could have rolled up real deep with their whole family because of what you said to them. Because some of them get threatened. Like, their life's threatened. It's like, girl, you don't know my last name. You don't even know my age. I know everything about you, so I really don't know why these people are so brave.
Yeah, me either. They get bored, I guess.
They must get really bored with life.
So what advice would you give as far as, like, with customer service and stuff?
I would say if you are someone who is working in customer service and your job is too much for you mentally, put your mental health first.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely put your mental health first. And if there's a way that you can figure something else out to leave, then do that. Don't feel like you're stuck because you're not. Even if you have to pray on it, even if you have to talk to other people or seek a therapist, please seek therapy. It's very important that you do have a therapist when you are working in the customer service field because, honey, it's a war out there.
Yeah.
What about you, baby?
I agree with you. Yeah, definitely, like, don't let stuff stress you out to the point where, you mentally breaking down, can't function, or, just having those episodes where you're having panic attacks and stuff. That's not good for your health. Stress is not good, period. So if something is stressing you out, let it go. Let it go. You will feel so much better. Yes. And even if you have to take a pay cut or whatever, your mental health and your health in general is more important than a job. Because at the end of the day, they're going to replace you no matter what. You can't replace yourself. So definitely, make sure you're mentally well, physically well, all of that.
Yeah, and they about to replace us all with soulless robots anyway. So keep your soul, honey. Don't let them break your soul.
But if there's anything you want us to talk about or need advice, hit us up on IG at thefarmers_show.
And we're out.
Bye, y'all.